After more than 3 months of intense conflict, the United States, Israel, and Iran have agreed to a framework deal. Hostilities are officially paused. The announcement sent immediate waves of optimism through global markets, best captured by U.S. President Donald Trump declaring online, "Let the oil flow." But looking at this map reveals the physical reality behind the politics. This is the Strait of Hormuz. It is only 21 miles wide, and it serves as the solitary aquatic exit route from the Persian Gulf. The new agreement includes a specific 60-day window to reopen this exact waterway to commercial shipping. Yet live marine tracking data paints a distinctly quiet picture. Over the weekend following the announcement, out of all those parked ships, only 2 commercial vessels with active trackers actually made it out of the strait. A framework agreement can be signed in an afternoon. Physically untangling hundreds of massive ships trapped in a global choke point takes much longer. Since late February, major shipping lines have been paralyzed. Companies like Maersk and Hapag-Lloyd have hundreds of vessels parked in the Gulf, unable to move. The immediate problem is physical danger. Waters are littered with uncleared mines. Crews are vulnerable to drone strikes. You cannot safely sail until the water is swept and secured. Even if a captain risks the journey, the financial math stands in the way. Navigating a recently active combat zone requires astronomical insurance premiums, keeping fleets docked while companies run the numbers. Then there is the deal itself. It guarantees an open strait for exactly 60 days. Shipping companies are actively questioning what happens on day 61 and whether Iran might use that deadline to reinstate a toll system on commercial traffic. A diplomatic signature does not clear explosives from the water or negotiate insurance contracts. Until those practical steps are finished, the global supply chain is at a standstill. To understand why this delay matters, we have to look at the cargo. Roughly 1/5 of the entire world's supply of crude oil and liquid natural gas, carried on vessels like this one, relies on the strait. This chart tracks Brent crude, the global oil benchmark. Hostilities caused prices to surge from roughly $70 to a peak of $120. The deal caused a sharp drop to $83.55. But this decline is driven entirely by market sentiment, not physical oil. Real stability requires a return to the pre-war baseline. That means seeing 26 massive crude oil tankers securely passing through the strait every single day. Until that daily physical volume is restored, the energy market is running purely on optimism. It remains highly volatile and exposed to sudden secondary price spikes. The friction at the strait trickles down into refined byproducts. Jet fuel, which powers the global aviation industry, more than doubled in cost during the height of the blockade. But there is a less obvious, highly critical byproduct trapped in those ships: natural gas. This is the essential chemical building block for nitrogen-based fertilizer. About 1/3 of the world's traded fertilizer flows through the Persian Gulf. With those shipments delayed, costs have soared, placing immense financial pressure on farmers trying to secure supplies. Agriculture operates on a strict biological clock. The crop season has already begun in several parts of the world. Even if ships leave the Gulf tomorrow, the deliveries will arrive too late, negatively affecting global harvest yields. The delay has permanently disrupted the planting window. The logistical freeze has now locked higher costs directly into the global food supply. When the baseline costs of shipping, energy, and agriculture all rise simultaneously, the direct result is a surge in global inflation. The price of everything on the shelf goes up. This creates an immediate problem for central banks. Institutions like the Bank of England are forced to adjust their entire national economic strategies in response to this geopolitically driven inflation. Before the war began, the Bank of England was widely expected to cut interest rates to give consumers relief. The sudden jump in energy costs derailed those plans completely, forcing them to hold rates steady or even consider raising them. This timeline graph illustrates the market's newly adjusted expectations. Just recently, markets anticipated 2 rate hikes by early 2027. Now, predictions have shifted to a single hike by December, and potentially no changes at all for the first half of 2027. For the average person, prolonged interest rates mean companies remain hesitant to hire new employees, and the property market stays frozen for buyers and sellers waiting for mortgage rates to drop. Geopolitics dictates the global economy. A blockade thousands of miles away acts as an invisible hand, raising the cost of your weekly groceries and your monthly mortgage. A peace agreement is a crucial first step, but true economic recovery will be a slow, expensive voyage.